And I'm back! It was the mole people! Time to feed the trolls. The series.
Tyler, eat the pizza.
Anyway, so we're continuing, basically, the second part of the Tom Bennett, this guy, part 2 of this guy.
Start asking some good questions, such as, what is this coronavirus really about? Well, a lot of people were sus on this from the start for a number of reasons. Not everybody buys into what they hear from the media.
Yes, that is true. Not everybody does. And unfortunately, that is for both some pretty good reasons and for some pretty bad reasons. However, the I don't have it. I've just been talking for too long. The sad side effect of that is we have certain segments of our population that readily believe what this guy says. So part of the cost of having a free press and the First Amendment is we have idiots like this that say terrible, stupid shit, and we just gotta cross our fingers, kinda, and hope that he doesn't kill anybody. Now, I have seen a lot of people, though, say like, oh, well, YouTube is censoring him. YouTube is violating his First Amendment. YouTube's a private company. YouTube can do that. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm not saying that. Because certainly, as a content creator that is routinely buried by the algorithm, I understand YouTube can be really fucked up in some ways. However, that's what YouTube does, and YouTube can do that. Don't like it? Do the capitalistic thing and make your own website, and hopefully you don't get swallowed by Google. This mega...
And recently I saw a video from a guy who was clearly able to use his own brain. He asked a couple of good questions, and those questions led to the finding of vaccine patents. So what you can do is you can look up these patent numbers right now.
Oh yeah, no, I will. I will. As soon as you give them to me, I will.
First one being US 200-625-7852.
And after a very cursory Google search, this patent is for a vaccine for the SARS virus. It's from 2006. Okay? Oh no. Oh, poor baby. Are you confused because Corona's mentioned? Is that, okay, well, here's the deal, little guy. Corona is not the name of this virus. Corona is a classification of viruses, so named because they look like a sun. The particular virus that we're dealing with right now is COVID-19, which is different than SARS. However, we have known about coronaviruses for quite a while. So I'm sorry, but the patent doesn't prove that nature ghosts that go around trying to figure out if you have enough fucking Drano in your system exist. It doesn't. Step right up and try again.
And when you look at that, you'll see how long ago coronavirus was patented. Here's a European one, EP 317231-9B1.
So once again, this is for another coronavirus, not the coronavirus we're dealing with right now, which makes it not entirely useless, but pretty useless. So again, doesn't prove that our bodies create solvents and that viruses don't exist, dude. Try again.
And that one you'll find to be a vaccine patent, which was funnily enough just approved in November of 2019. When did we start seeing coronavirus? So I guess it's time to tell you the only way that you can actually catch a virus. The only way that you can catch a virus is by having it injected into your bloodstream.
6 years studying this, ladies and gentlemen. 6 years. 6 years. You should have cracked open a textbook at some point.
So remembering the viruses are created cellularly as a response to your internal environment,
as dictated by nature ghosts.
which means, yes, taking responsibility for your thoughts.
Right, because in the last video he said that the virus scanned your brain to make sure you were thinking right. Oh wait, no, it's not the virus that does it because the virus isn't real. The nature ghost that's in charge of giving your body the signal to go ahead and make Drano inside of it is scanning your mind with his ghost tricorder going, I don't know, he's not thinking correct thoughts. Better make him start making Drano in his lungs. That way he can detox as he decomposes.
Actions and beliefs, all beliefs being a form of ignorance, because you know if you have to believe something, it's because you don't know.
I would like to petition Encyclopedia Dramatica on this point. Can you make this guy the head of the Dunning-Kruger effect page? Can you guys do that? Or maybe the Encyclopedia Skeptica or whatever that's called? He deserves to be remembered.
So how can a human get a virus from a pig or a bat or a bird or a monkey, remembering the viruses used to be blamed on other races such as Mexicans and Spanish flu? Well, remember the viruses cannot cross species.
6 years. 6 years, everybody. No, wait, no. A decade. I forgot. A decade of research, ladies and gentlemen.
And you can't even catch it from within the same species because it has to be created within animal tissue, remembering that we are human animals. So the way that you can create a virus, you can get sick and unhealthy animal tissue and put it in a petri dish. It will create a virus and you can incubate that virus.
Remember in the last episode when I said I was going to cut you some slack and say that you didn't believe in spontaneous generation? Well, I was wrong, because what you just described is spontaneous generation. So your sense of science is 200 years out of date? 200 to 300 years out of date? Maybe you should have cracked open a regular old modern book and not unscrolled some ancient text from the far past. Ah, yes! The virus is created by people angering Zeus!
The only reason it can stay alive, remembering it's not alive, the only reason that a virus can actually be there and be in play is that it's taking care of toxicity within cells in animal tissue.
What does the hantavirus do in an animal? Just asking, what does it detoxify that it doesn't at first turn into a stew?
So what happens with that incubated virus is it's sterilized and put into a vaccine. Now straight away you don't want that because that's bad news.
Yes, he's an anti-vaxxer too, so when they do eventually create a vaccine for this virus, he will be one of those that doesn't take it, and thereby endangers other people who want to take the vaccine but can't due to medical reasons. What a jackass!
Then when it's added to 70 or 80 chemicals, you definitely don't want that in your body.
His idiocy is like layers, you know, you peel one back, and there's another one, and you peel one back, and there's another one, and you peel one back, and there's another one. What else do you believe in? Are you a 9/11 truther too? Like, do you also subscribe to that? Do you think that we're actually living in the year 1700 because 300 years was artificially added in by, like, European kings to make their reign sound more important? Do you think this is Noah's Ark? What else is in this rancid onion of a brain inside your skull?
So when these viruses are loaded into vaccines and flown all the way around the world, and people are getting their flu shots and all their other vaccines...
I know, right? All these people not wanting to catch fucking polio and mumps and measles. Oh, these poor ignorant fools. No, if only they thought good thoughts, they wouldn't have to worry about catching it.
That's the only way you can get animal tissue into your own bloodstream. It is so far beyond the realm of possibility to get animal tissue into your bloodstream by way of being around people or from surfaces or from the air.
You see this picture here? This is aerosolized chicken shit. You can breathe it in. It's dangerous.
Or from any other way other than injection. So you really want to question all this advice that's being given out about your toilet paper and your hand sanitizers and...
Yeah, you really don't need to hoard toilet paper. In fact, please don't hoard anything. Just get what you need and then leave the rest, because everybody needs toilet paper. Like, everybody needs toilet paper. You don't need 10 packs of toilet paper. You don't.
And the idea that this virus is killed upon contact of heat or anything else, because a virus isn't alive in the first place.
Is it like the semantics that are bothering you? Okay, fine. The virus isn't killed on contact with heat. It's destroyed on contact with heat. Does that make you happy? Does that make you does it make you happy? No, it's destroyed. It's not alive. It's destroyed on contact with heat or alcohol or soap. It's destroyed. There. Happy?
So how can you kill something that is never alive? So there's only two things that you need to do. One, don't get a flu shot.
Yeah, you can ignore that. If you're within a risk group, like if you're a small child, if you have a small child, they need to get a flu shot. If you're an elderly person, you need to get a flu shot. If you're in between, like if you're 19 to 35 to 40, maybe you can in my opinion, I mean, I used to skip them all the time until last year when I took one because the company was like giving them out for free. But you maybe don't. However, when it comes to a vaccine, you definitely need it. You should definitely get it. And when it comes to a vaccine for this virus, get it. Fucking get it.
Actually, don't get any shot. And two, don't stay in your house. You ought to be outside getting sunlight and fresh air if you want your body to run optimally.
You can go out on your porch. You can go out onto your lawn. That's it. Anything else that is non-essential, if you need groceries, if you need home maintenance stuff that you need, not for a stay-at-home project. I mean, if you need soap, if you need Drano, because something's clogged, if you need paper towels, if you need toilet paper, if you need food, then yes, go get those things, preferably lump them all into one location and get them, and then after that, come home. Don't go out. Don't be one of these people that's like, I need to get out. I'm gonna go to the Barnes and Noble. I'm gonna go to the coffee shop. I'm gonna get some coffee. Don't. I know that this is annoying. Trust me, I'm stuck underground. But you have to stay home because we have to flatten the curve. We have to make sure that our health infrastructure isn't overwhelmed, because right now, it's already overwhelmed. In New York, right now, as of the moment of me making this video, they are moving refrigerated trucks in behind hospitals because the morgues are overflowing. In Italy, they had to modify skating rings to be morgues because they ran out of room. We know from satellite images right now that in Iran, they are digging mass graves. In South America, I think it's Chile? No, Brazil. They're digging mass graves. This virus is serious, and I realize that it's disappointing to have to sacrifice your summer. I know. It sucks. I had plans, too. I wanted to get out more. There's a comedy club actually close to me. I wanted to start going there. I wanted to start doing, like, things, because I actually wrote a stand-up routine. I wanted to try it. I'm not doing that anymore. Because I can't. Because we all have to do our part to make sure this thing doesn't blow out of proportion. To make sure this thing doesn't kill more people. I realize that it is kind of asking a lot. People are very social. We are a social species. And we have to put that aside for now. Because we have to give the health apparatus of our civilization time to adapt to this. As soon as they get a vaccine for it, as soon as they have a viable treatment for it, and we can get it, then okay. But until then, we have to keep this thing from spreading. And staying home and limiting your foot traffic is actually the best way to do that. Oh, but I'm sorry. No, it's the nature ghosts that come into your mind and scan your brain and tell you to get boners for people. That's how you catch it. It'll tell you to create fucking Drano in your immune system to flush out toxins and shit. because viruses aren't alive and therefore they're not real because some jerk-off from Australia says so. Oh, and you want to know something else that's kind of funny? The video, there's a reason why the video looks kind of shaky. It's because I could not find the original copy of it because it got taken off of YouTube. So I actually found one of this guy's fans, this guy here, who recorded it with his cell phone. So, thanks for giving me the video, numbskull. Thanks. Oh, and a shout out to this guy on Twitter who also found it. Thanks for also finding it. But I found it before you said I found it. But thank you for also finding it.
And not need to undergo a viral detoxification. There is something else you can do actually, and that is to turn off your TV and your social media.
Ironically, that's actually a form of social isolation against you. So, in a way, you're like a virus. And the way people keep you from spreading is by not being on Facebook so they don't see you and catch you. It's interesting. It's like art imitating nature. It's very interesting.
And I did make this video to help to bring some common sense and start relieving some of that fear and stress. So I won't go too far into what's really going on with this worldwide pandemic. By the way, who's verifying these deaths?
I think these verify them enough. You fucking asshole.
Like, who's actually counting these deaths and who's actually verifying that the deaths that do occur aren't from any standard flu, which, by the way, flus kill 500,000 to 1 million people every year.
Okay, well, number one, the flu isn't one virus. It's actually a whole bunch of viruses. That's your first fuck up. So, yeah, a whole classification of different varieties of viruses. Yes, they collectively infect more people than COVID-19, or they collectively have infected more people than COVID-19 so far. Second, the death rate from the regular seasonal flu is about just slightly under 1%. It's about 1, we can round it to 1%, but just slightly under 1%. I think it's 0.5. COVID-19 right now has a global death rate of 3.4%. If we round that down to just 3, that's a death rate of 3%. That is orders of magnitudes higher than the flu. And I know you're looking at that number like, oh, well, that doesn't seem like a whole lot. Yeah, I mean, out of 1 million people, maybe. But it also leaves people with lung fibrosis. It leaves people with scarred lungs. The number of severe cases out of this, I think they're about 20 to 25%, maybe 30, upwards of 30. You know what? Here, let me check that number, because I do more work than this dipshit ever has. I'll be right back. Let me check. And remember, this is being recorded April 5th, so these numbers may be inaccurate. But let's see. According to Google, how many people suffer severe symptoms of COVID-19? Okay, so after searching for about 30 minutes, roundabout what I'm getting is between 32 and 27% of people who get this virus have severe symptoms. That means 30 to 27% of people run the risk of having severe lung damage from this virus. Oh, but please do continue to enlighten us. Oh, dipshit. Oh, fucking dumb, stupid motherfucker that might get some people killed. You stupid fucking asshole.
Every year. It only affects the weak.
Guess they were all weak.
And if it's not a natural virus that's happening within your own body for beneficial purposes, the only way you can get that is to have an injection. So instead of thinking you're doing the right thing by using all the correct words like COVID-19 and self-isolating and social distancing, and instead of staying indoors like a self-indulgent cactus, washing your hands like it's going out of fashion.
Yes, instead of doing all the smart stuff, let's listen to this idiot who thinks that nature ghosts speak to your immune system and tell it to make fucking vinegar. Yeah, let's listen to that guy. He knows what's up.
And humping doorknobs.
Humping doorknobs?
and dictating to other people what they should be doing with their lives.
You mean like what you're doing?
When perhaps they're just immune to media. So guys, if you're doing that, then you're not actually helping anything. What you're really doing is you're laying down, you're bending over, you're spreading your legs, and you're letting the long arm of the system get itself shoulder deep inside of you.
Oh, yes, it's the system. Yeah, I forgot it's the system. It's big government. Big government's coming. Big government's the reason why COVID-19's floating around. Yes, I fucking forgot. You know, ironically, there is some actual truth to that. Because we were, at least the Trump administration, was aware. We were getting warnings about the possibility of a coronavirus outbreak in America, and he sat on them, and he ignored them, and he gutted our pandemic response unit. So yeah, in a sense, it was the problem.
You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Most people have no idea about how the world works.
They've got no idea about the nature ghosts. They've got no idea about the dangers of vaccines containing rotting pieces of meat. They got no idea about the dangers of I'm assuming 5G. You got a problem with that too? You can trust me. I spent 10 years studying a subject just to turn around and make a video where I show that I know nothing about it. Not a fucking thing. Which, as I said before in my last video, is genuinely impressive. It takes some skill to study something for 10 years and know fuck all about it.
Certainly don't have any idea about how the mind and body works. And there are some things going on that if this goes down the way people are letting it go down, you can say goodbye to what you have left of your rights and freedoms.
Oh, God, you're the Australian version of a fucking prepper. Only, at the very least, preppers seem to be having the right idea, and they're staying the fuck away from everybody else. So, hats off to you. You done good if you're following through with your disaster plan.
In this world. So if that's been you, pull your finger out, get outside, do normal things, watch the streets, and watch what's going on out there.
So far down my street, there's not a whole lot of anything. Which is good. Very good.
Because if you're sitting in your house, counting the number of days in your social isolation, counting death tolls like it's a fucking Olympic medal tally on the TV.
Ugh, I feel slimy for actually agreeing with this last part, but yeah, you probably don't want to spend your time in social isolation obsessing about death tolls. I mean, definitely stay informed, but we face the potential of this being our reality for the next couple of months, so maybe don't do that. Come up with something else. Watch some shows that you wanted to get into but never found the time. Or, hey, now's a really good time to get into YouTube. So if you have some show idea that you've wanted to do, but you're never really sure if you wanted, you didn't know if anyone was interested, well, I'll tell you what. Now's a good time to test the waters because everybody's online now. Everybody. But yeah, don't obsess about death tolls and other things. Just be aware, but don't drive yourself crazy because anxiety can make walls start to feel like they're coming down on you. I should know. I can't even see the sky.
You are literally paving the way to losing your rights and freedoms.
And I should know, because when I was a kid, I learned how to read quicker. Haven't really taught that.
And you're going to come out of your house with less than what you had when you went in. And I'm not just talking about baked beans and toilet paper. I'll leave you with one bit of friendly advice, and that is to start using your own mind. Because if you don't use your own mind,
some dipshit like this will. Anyway, this is Cute Fuzzy Weasel. Hope you enjoyed that episode. If you like that episode, go ahead and hit that bell icon and the... No, wait, shit. You hit the subscribe and then the bell icon, and then hit the all button. And hey, if you support me on Patreon, you saw this episode 2 days early, like these people. And shout out to my patrons. You know, if you're in the $10 range, I do send you IMs, like asking what kind of video you want me to do. So check those IMs. And as always, have a good day, stay safe, stay at home.